We're starting. All right, we're live. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
How can we tell if we have any viewers?
It says live.
All right. Cool. Grant, you there?
I'm here. What's up?
Perfect.
Oh, there's a convertible going on.
We're live. All right, I can see us. Cool.
Skip the convertible. Quick.
All right.
Wait,
Welcome to the Spectro Racing live stream. Grant's on.
Sitting next to his Mustang.
See next to his Mustang. We can see him over there. All right, cool. So, it's something we're going to do, I guess, periodically. How often do you think we're going to do this?
If everybody, if all of our viewers enjoy watching, then I see no reason we couldn't do this every week or every other week or something like that. You know, I mean, why? These guys don't want to commit.
No, I'm talking about the delay.
All right.
Well, don't watch the big screen. Big screen is only there to make sure that it's on.
Yeah, first time doing this, technical difficulties, you never know what's going to happen. So it's just us talking about some topics about cars. We'll hopefully have you submit some in the future. We have some that we came prepared with, hopefully. I don't know. Came prepared. I almost went to the wrong place tonight, so
I can just talk about myself.
No one wants to hear about you.
So I guess you know what we'll do. We'll start with John. One of our
Good look at the name.
what?
You could look on the name and change 10 times.
Right.
We have a new name.
Shouldn't we do an introduction first?
Right. Actually, let's do an introduction. So we'll start.
Come on.
Start with John. You're right. Scott.
Thank you. I know.
Okay. My name is John. I am on the street team or backup driver of the Spectro Racers. It's probably the first time any of you have seen me on camera. And should I go with my discussion topic, or are we going down the line?
No, we're just going to do an introduction.
Yeah.
Oh, you're next.
Oh, well, everyone knows Mao, I guess, if you watch YouTube. American Muscle.
He's got the slow Camaro.
Hey, for how slow it is, it's only like 5 seconds behind you. I mean,
That's an eternity in autocross time.
yeah.
But your Camaro's slow, but you got another car too.
Yeah, I also have a CPSV. I don't do much with it.
Old grandpa car.
You know, but mostly into like.
But
the
it's got
GM cars.
RE71Rs, a K&N intake, and an exhaust system.
Oh,
Whoa!
so fast, right?
Yeah. Oh, remember the time we beat Mo in a street race in an expedition?
Well, hold on. Let me clarify. So we all went down on a little vacation to Mexico, and we were driving next to each other, and we were in my expedition, the King Ranch Extended, the EL King Ranch, big ass truck that I have for basically towing dogs around in cars. And Mo's in his Camaro next to us, and we did the little 3-honk thing, and neck and neck. Never seen a drag race closer than that. Never seen it closer than that. And I think the only reason, like, I'm pretty sure it was a tie. I think that we both.
I don't even think we broke the speed limit.
Mexico.
You know, when we were on our way home from Wing House.
I remember.
The Wing House, Mexico.
So let's cut to Grant 1 second. Let me broadcast your feed here. All right. Hopefully people can see you, Grant. Hopefully they can hear you too. Let's introduce yourself.
What's going on? I'm Grant. I drive the red Mustang. I'm here in my garage hanging out. So I'm sure you've seen a bunch of the videos, and we're going to be doing some cool stuff this weekend. So Scott's actually going to be driving my car too, because Chevy's broken.
I've got my hands in the air, but no one can see me. I don't think it's working.
I don't know if anyone can
watching
see.
it live and nothing's happening.
We're watching it live and we can't see you, Grant. so-
Technical difficulties. We apologize.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't know if we can see you, buddy. Let's see.
there's a red Mustang behind me. There's nothing that special, honestly. It's just $20,000 in mods. That's all.
That's true.
How much?
I don't know. I stopped tracking it when it really got disheartening. So.
All right, and Scott, you wanna go?
Well, I don't know if anybody heard Grant at all. Like, do we know if people heard Grant?
I don't know if people heard Grant. So you want to talk about Grant?
Well,
Grant?
okay, I can, just in case, I'll very briefly talk about Grant. So Grant has a red Mustang that he has spent too much money on, and he drives it like a crazy person. And tell him to drink the beer. Yeah, I like the first comment.
I think I may have it. Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works.
No,
Congratulations.
there it is. All right, Grant, introduce yourself again.
My name is Grant.
Mustang.
I drive a 2008 Mustang GT.
Why's your trunk open? Clear.
It's those Wayne can fit in the garage.
Big ass wang.
What?
That's a nice fake
Fuck.
look you got there.
Drive the X-Tang. It's supercharged.
You're moving too fast.
No! Oh yeah, and I have an awesome corgi. Say hi, Churchill. Oh, he's scared.
All right, so that's Grant. And back to the studio. Scott?
So, I've got a couple of cars that we've featured on the channel.
That don't work.
Neither of which work right now
Every-
at the moment. Although my Expedition works fine and it's just as fast as your Camaro.
Every car that enters Scott's garage is like the Twilight Zone. It mysteriously stops working.
So I have.
If you're not working at it the night before an event, it's not Scott's car.
Say that again?
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're not working the night before an event, it's not Scott's car.
Right.
that's typical for me.
Trying to save money on those tires.
Yeah. Right. So, no, I have two cars. I've got a 1999 Corvette that's been modified to compete in SSM. Basically, full suspension, slicks, diff, transmission, all that good stuff. And then I have another car that is being built. It's a 1970 Camaro that's actually being converted to a 1969, which will confuse me and ultimately everybody. Did I say
I heard
Camaro?
Camaro.
He said Camaro.
Shit.
Wow,
Do
this
over.
shit is getting to
We've
you.
got to start over. We have to cancel this off. Oh God!
Oh, yeah.
Shame will follow my family
You know,
for
it's that
generations.
because in the shop we have the Camaro, and I took the bumper fascia from the Camaro and I put it on Scott's car.
Did
one
you?
day. I was like, turn this into a Camaro. It's going in.
I'm going to tell Telly to stop paying you. Anyway, so I have a 1970 Mustang that is being converted into a 1969. A whole lot of parts, NASCAR motor that's going to be blown, and a lot of other stuff. So that's very far from being running. I don't know, maybe a year. I hope less than a year because I've registered the car for Grid Life at Atlanta in August.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be there. If it's not, my Corvette will be there. But yeah, maybe.
If it runs.
Well, I'm doing everything that you could possibly go wrong with the car right now. So hopefully the car will be bulletproof. Unless I let Mike drive it, which I'm supposed to. And we'll see.
I drove a Lambo.
You drove a Lambo with that, like, test drive experience. Oh, exotic car experience. Let me go drive a Lambo. I'm pretty
They
sure
still
that
trust me with a car that's worth
there's
like
an oh shit pedal on the passenger side
There
that
is
you
not.
can't see.
It was
That
a
way, if the
standard
instructor's like,
car.
nope, he's it's like, it's a hot rod version
Right,
of the one
he had a
that.
steering wheel like this.
Exactly.
It's old.
I'm telling you, he's got a little button down here that he's hiding.
Oh man. Well, are you done introducing how all your cars don't work?
Wait.
You can keep on
let's
talking.
see.
You got to go next. Otherwise,
What else?
The whole video's gonna
All
be
right,
done.
Scott's
Do I have
done.
anything
Scott's
else?
done.
I don't know. So we were talking about Grant has a dog. I have a dog.
You can leave.
Let's go
All right,
We're done. I'm Mike. I drive the 2016 Shelby GT350. Before I got that car, I was driving a Cadillac like Mo.
Who Cadillac?
He's a real big fan of those Cadillacs.
Old people.
I parked the Cadillac outside in the driveway so it gets dirty, and I parked the Shelby inside. So what's that tell you? And that's it. I've been autocrossing since Scott brought me to an event. What was that, 2 years ago now? Forever ago now.
Was it that long?
I feel like it's been 2 years. I think it's been 2 years. And brought me, and Grant and I got reacquainted, and then Mo was doing autocross.
Bo lived nearby, and so I was like,
Yeah.
I might as well
And
talk to this
film
guy.
videos.
Stocks and attendee list, like, ooh, this guy lives in the same town I do. I'm gonna stalk him.
He filmed
True.
lots of videos, and then I saw John in my work parking lot, his car anyway. I saw his California Special, and I was like, let me put one of my business cards on, take a picture of it, and I got a comment literally like, I don't know, like 30 minutes later. He goes, "You caught me on my first day of work," and since then
That
we've
was your
been-
first
I was
day.
pretty excited.
Yeah, he was pretty excited. So we started hanging out, and John's that was an awesome guy. So it's got a Mustang too. We have a lot of Mustangs on this.
We're
still don't
almost
know why.
predominantly Mustangs, and it wasn't.
But you have a
intentional.
Chevy. You have a Chevy. I technically have.
You have a GM.
A GM. Yeah. Grant, I don't know what you're gonna get next, but
Maybe a Subaru.
Grant, what you gonna get someone next or?
Looking at Christian Subaru or maybe a Fiat 124 Barth.
That'd be fun. So let's start with John. We all brought topics. Let's start with John's first.
All right, so the first thing that I wanted to discuss tonight, and it's a question for you guys, is which auto manufacturer produces
Oh,
the
you're right,
ugliest cars?
Kia.
Kia. Okay.
What was the question?
Which auto manufacturer produces the ugliest?
cars.
Oh, the
cars
ugliest
today?
cars. The ugliest cars.
I would say Kia and Toyota.
You think Kia? I don't know.
No.
I think
Kia
Kia
makes
used
some
to
good
be.
products.
They make some good stuff now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Toyota.
Or was that? Well,
Like Lexus or Toyota. They're just so hit and miss lately.
No. What about what do they come out with? It's called the LC, which is minus the grill.
See, that's the problem. Is
Very
they
Someone
have
had a stroke when they designed it.
just look terrible.
So I know we have 8 viewers on right now, and if you have any, you can definitely comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you too in the live chat section. But I don't know. I think Kia, personally, I think they improved their look drastically, and so did Hyundai.
Because they're just copying Mercedes.
What's
Genesis
The
line.
Genesis, yeah. But didn't they grab the stylus from Audi on the Kia side?
Wait a second. You said Genesis, and we're talking about Kia.
Right. So
I said
Genesis on
Hyundai also. I'm
Yeah.
talking about those
Oh.
2 car who used to look
Okay,
like
well,
garbage.
what's the best looking Kia?
I don't know the name. It's
What's the sedan?
I don't know what this
What's
sedan's
the one
called.
that starts with an S?
Phone a friend.
I was about to phone a friend.
Anybody?
Yeah, pull up.
Exactly my point.
Ugliest
No.
car. All right, ugliest car. Let's think.
Now
about it.
I'm
Let's
talking
think
about as a brand.
As a
You
brand.
said brand.
I said brand.
as a brand.
You
Yeah.
said
And I have.
what's the sedan? So
Yeah.
you're talking about the one car that they make that's halfway decent.
And the rest of them are fine. But I have an auto manufacturer in mind that produces the ugliest cars across the board. Especially one.
What
Okay.
country of
Okay.
origin?
What country of origin?
Yeah.
From the land of the rising sun.
Well, I mean, Subaru doesn't make pretty cars.
They've been known to always make ugly cars, but
Yeah.
not the ugliest.
Cars are ugly, but they're ugly in like a really nice way.
You could say it's like Mitsubishi because they don't really even make cars anymore.
This is good looking. That's a big
Yeah,
one.
well, the K900 is.
Cadenza can 100. Yeah.
What's
they
the
could-
mid-size four-door? That's like the Optima. That's it.
Yeah, Optima looks all right. It looks all
Optima's a
right.
good-looking car.
That's a halfway decent looking car.
Okay.
I will give you
Alright.
that.
So-
the
And the
Optima's a
Cadenza's
halfway
good
decent
looking,
car.
and the K900 is
really
good
can't
looking.
think
So
of
Kia, we can say is off the list.
Well, because they've only got like 5 models. So, sure.
Are we talking about all the Chinese cars that are mimicking the real cars that they have in China for like?
That's
less
not the
money?
land of the rising sun.
That's
true,
Let's talk
but
about
it's-
Japan.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's all
You know that
The
country
answer-
renewed.
The answer is Honda.
Honda.
I was gonna say Honda, but then I was
The
afraid
answer-
the Rices was like.
You think
Wanna
Honda is
kill
a
me.
bad looking?
Honda makes the ugliest
You
cars
drive a
today.
Honda, right?
I do drive a Honda. That's my backup car.
I don't think that Honda makes ugly cars, though.
You like the S2000 is a pretty car.
Yes,
That's an
2000
old
is out of
car. That's
production.
not in production
It's out of
anymore.
production. So here's the
Oh,
problem.
it's true.
Here's the problem with Honda. They used to have sporting pretensions, or is that the right word? Ambitions. Right?
Ambitions.
They marketed towards
So did
people-
Acura.
Yeah.
And they stopped completely.
Well, they marketed
Well,
towards people,
Acura, Honda, same thing.
right, who enjoy
Right,
driving. They had edgier, maybe enthusiastic styling. Now they market to hipsters and 80-year-olds who can't see what they're looking
No,
at.
that was Scion.
That's
So,
And that's why Scion is dead.
And we can bring up examples, but I have one word for you. Ridgeline.
Well, okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
the Ridgeline's pretty horrendous.
My counter
What
to
about the
this
Rio?
is that Honda makes
What about the Rio?
most
It's a gumball.
gender neutral car. Gender
Rick
neutral,
Wiley says, "What about the Rio?"
unassuming, on anything. You look at the new Ridgeline, and you look at it and you go, "It's a car."
I would say it's
I don't
very-
look at it and I go, "Oh, that's ugly."
No,
and
it's
I
It's a modern day Aztec.
Oh God, that is the worst.
no, I would
The
not
Aztec is
say
the
the new
worst.
Ridgeline is as bad as the Aztec.
No, not at all. The Aztec's far worse.
No, so I would say that Honda has done a good job of making a
But I
neutral
like my
car.
Camaro better.
But
No, see,
No one
I-
cares about Camaros.
I would disagree.
Hey, Rick does.
Get here, Rick.
Yeah, to be fair, I do own a Honda also.
I would
Well, as a
disagree.
viewer, I have to like cars.
So-
Rick, I like your Camaro. even though I've
So
never
to your point, I mean, I drove Acuras for a while. I drove the TL. I drove a TL.
that
Type S,
TL was a great
and I
car.
drove a TL when they remodeled it and made the TL a bigger sedan.
Yep.
But I noticed after my TL Type S, my 08, which I loved, it was a great car. It was underpowered, but I never did anything to it. It was just a good, nice car to have. But right after that, they did that transition. They cut out all their sports cars, aside from rebuilding the NSX. But they have no S lines anymore, and Honda kind of, I mean, the same thing. They're as a brand, they kind of just took out the sporting part of it and went down to the regular. Let's just,
Before
The
we
new
abandon-
Civic is badass, though.
I was about to say, before we abandon this topic, pull up the picture of the Civic's rear end that I say. I want people to see how her end.
Yeah, but can people see? I don't know if people can see your.
yeah, I can get it up there. Oh God, that's so gross. I can see it. You guys can't
Looks
see
like
it
an
yet.
SUV.
You guys can't see it yet, but it's gonna be gross. Hopefully you can see this.
Okay,
It'll be
so-
popping up in a second. Hopefully.
Tell
Well,
me-
nobody's delayed on the audio, so you don't have to say I'll see it in a second.
Ah, that's true.
So
Tell me honestly, that looks good.
It
It's
is.
coming up. There it is.
It's hideous. It's got holes everywhere. It's got weird angles.
So what I really don't like, and I'll is these.
that giant vent.
No, but these aren't real vents.
Right,
and what
they're
I've
fake.
noticed
Oh,
is
I'm sure they are.
what I've noticed in so many cars, because they want to make it look sporty, they've been putting these fake vents in. Like, just put holes there. I mean, realistically, it's probably cheaper anyway. It's less plastic.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're putting in
Yeah,
a
but
thing.
it'll probably break sooner and expose things that
All
should
right,
be
well-
exposed. That's not made and built
So-
to-
No,
I
on your
think
opinion, Mo.
Here's.
Let's get this off the screen. I can't look at this anymore.
We all agreed that Honda makes a boring-looking, even lame, as Rick says. It's boring. It's lame. It's kind of like,
boring.
wow, are they even
Yeah.
really trying? You know. But that is their target market.
Right.
They sell Civics to weird people.
yeah.
They built a weird car.
Right.
There you go.
A lot of people who buy those cars buy them as like a washing machine. Like it's a utility to them. It's not a way of life.
Thinking about the washing machine, two cars that look like a washing machine and a dryer, like the Scion box
The
car.
XB.
Yeah.
And the Kia Soul.
So yeah, you got the washer and dryer set up right there. Those are washer and dryer cars.
Right. They're
Who would buy that?
Right.
Now, I want to just have a closing remark on this one, right?
Sure.
And I think it's that Honda should know better. That's my problem with Honda's current styling. They know better. They've done better.
They have done better. They
They've done
used to
so
be.
much
They've
better.
turned away from
Honda-
their target core audience.
See, I would agree with that. I would say that Honda, like Subaru, used to build really funky cars, and they've kind of mellowed out.
Right.
You look at the old WRX,
Yep.
like either the Hawkeye or the Bug-Eye. Those were exciting looking cars. They were different looking. My Forester, I loved my Forester because it was funky looking. Like
Right.
it's a crazy looking car.
Right.
You look at their current lineup, and it's just blends with
Soft
all
and
the other
bland.
cars.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a problem. It's
So-
not so much the manufacturer; it's the people buying the cars. They want to sell a car.
So stop
so
buying
many great cars
Hondas.
have been made.
Stop it.
So many great cars have been made, but they don't sell.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the
Because
problem.
only crazy people like us want them.
Well, that's semi-true. Well, and the other thing is, a lot of people who want the Subaru can't afford a brand new Subaru.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like a good example. I love wagons.
But a damn good lawnmower, or build a damn good lawnmower.
That's
LJ,
that's great.
Hey,
I actually have a
LJ,
Honda
you're right. You know
lawnmower.
what? Every lawnmower I've
Yeah,
ever
they're
known has been a
used-
good one. Has been a Honda
Oh,
lawnmower.
I
Push
had a
mower.
John Deere.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a John Deere.
I have a Honda lawnmower. I figured they use the same engine they use in their car, so it's gonna last a really long time.
Is your John Deere in pieces like your Corvette?
No, it runs better. It's more reliable, and it leaks less oil. Smokes a little more though.
Yeah.
So,
But,
so let's
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
let's go to Mo. I mean, what's your
Mo
topic?
didn't bring it up.
Mo didn't bring a topic.
I got one in mind, but
I mean,
just
what
go
I
ahead.
wanna talk
It's
about.
like dinner, and you can skip me. I kind of got something.
Okay.
You got something formulating? Okay.
Let's get something formulated.
All right.
So,
So let's.
I have.
Whoa, who said you were next? We went for Grant's next.
No one cares about
Grant, you're next.
I'm next.
You're next,
All
man.
right, what was? I didn't bring one either, but I just made one up right now. Is what was your best autocross wipeout?
Best
Ah,
autocross wipeout.
mine was pretty recent, actually.
Mine, but you have like every time. My favorite autocross wipeout was when I drove Grant's car for the first time. Immediately spun out into the dirt, and there's like dirt flying through the windows. And
Like
Grant's
the first turn.
50 yards of the start line. The car just.
I was like,
straight out.
so much bottom end torque, so much slick. I don't know how to do this. So, of course. Oh well.
That was a good one.
Yours?
I've got you guys beat. I have a flawless record. I have never spun out on an autocross track.
Yeah, you're not trying. You're babying your car.
Means you're not having fun either.
I'll drive your car in a circle.
No, seriously, I've been one. I followed the course.
He's a
I
drag
finished.
racer.
I'm a drag racer.
You don't want to wipe out. You don't want to wipe out doing that.
Oh yeah, you don't want.
All right, Mo.
Mo
Mine
probably
was-
has many.
Mine was at the last event, which I came first.
Oh yeah, I think you can bring up a picture, Mike.
I'm gonna picture
But-
up. Slack it to
Grant,
me. I'll
pull
pull
up
it up.
your picture. Pull it up on your computer and then do it on yours.
Just pull it up. Send it me a Slack, and I'll pull it up.
So it wasn't a complete wipeout. I just completely went off course and, power slid for like how many feet it was. It was enough to get yelled at because I came close to camera timing equipment.
Yeah.
So, but
I was
Don't-
in the car
don't drive angry.
when that happened,
I was
and
kinda
Mo
pissed
was
because the
like
car wasn't
really
working.
annoyed
Yeah, I was really
for
annoyed
whatever
'cause
reason.
My brakes weren't working, and my brake light was coming on
Typical Chevy crap.
because he touched my car.
Yeah, Scott's
Yeah.
at your car. Stop
It
working.
wasn't
It went,
my garage
it
the
went
day
into his
before.
garage the day before. And then, yeah, the Twilight Zone shit started happening to it. Oh.
You can see my wipeout in our bought versus built video on our channel, and I think it's one of the first 30 seconds. Of the video. Yours, I'm sure. Is yours posted yet? No,
No, I haven't.
not yet. Okay.
That's the best stuff.
If Grant sends me the photo, which I think he's in his lair now, so we'll probably get it soon.
Need yours?
I haven't
No.
shared mine yet. I think my best wipeout is
Remember when you wiped out my Miata?
what? When I drove your Miata?
Yeah, you remember when you wiped out my Miata into the dirt and you got it? I think you got it stuck.
No, I didn't get it stuck. I drove out of it. So that was definitely not it. No, the worst one, and I don't know where. Grant, do you know if it's on our channel? Me almost running someone over in my Shelby.
Yes, that is.
It is on the channel.
Oh yeah, hold on, I'm gonna bring it up in a minute here.
Yeah, pull that
So-
video up.
So that video is one of, or is probably my favorite wipeout because I mean I didn't really come that close to killing somebody, but I went at them.
They were running.
The guy ran away. But
yeah.
it was my first time autocrossing, and I was in my 07 Shelby GT, and no,
No.
GT.
Really?
Shelby GT,
The
yeah.
poser Shelby.
It was a real Shelby.
It's a
What?
poster Shelby.
Yeah.
For people who are not Shelby
It
keen,
looked like a
explain the
GT
Shelby
500.
GT.
For people who don't know, a Shelby GT was basically the first version of the Performance Pack GT.
All right, I got it up.
All right, one second. All right, here we go. Wait, this is Scott's Wipeout.
So basically, I didn't really know what I was doing. This is, again, my very first time autocrossing, so there was much to be desired with my lines and input, throttle, everything. I mean, I was literally all over the place. Yeah, there.
Oh,
That guy ran away. But so my favorite thing about that video, and you'll have to watch it with audio, because
It should be.
I get to the turnaround, and you can hear my seatbelt chime on. Before that run, I didn't even put my seatbelt on because it was my first autocross. I'm like, thinking about driving and everything else. I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I forgot to put my seatbelt on. I spun out my car. I mean, not bad, but I didn't put my seatbelt on. So I think that's my favorite wipeout.
That's actually pretty funny. That video is I like the guy. I mean, and
Yeah,
that is a
funny.
true risk at autocross. If you have to be paying attention if you're working the course.
And you have to work a course. And you have to work a course standing where is a car? If a car were to lose it at this corner, where would it go?
right. And you have to know
That's how you have to work the course, and you have to stand at your station knowing if a car is going to go off, it's going to go this way or that way, so that you can
Right.
stand in a safe area.
And no matter how new you are, you're not exempt from working. As I found out the hard way in my first.
You're like,
John, where are you?
Where is John? Held up the whole event. I went for a drive. I had to come back.
How far did you get?
Almost to the exit.
I think someone like
Yeah.
it's like
I thought we were done.
that was probably poor on our part not explaining that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to,
I raced. I go home.
It's like drag racing.
nope. Yeah, that's true. Grant, we do Grant's topic. So, Mo, do you have your topic yet?
Oh yeah, I'll go with one on the fly. So I'm actually. This is kind of a funny show. I made this member the third gen Camaro, and I get a lot of looks because everyone knows the member berries from South Park. But when they read that second line, they're like, "What the hell is a third gen Camaro?" They probably have no clue what I'm talking about. Because when people see me driving my car, they're like, "Whoa, are those doors? They're gonna come off, or you took off the doors from the T-tops?" They don't know what T-tops are either. But anyways, my topic
is
would
an
be
old school
kind of
type
a
thing.
questionnaire. Throughout the time from like when muscle cars first came out in like the '60s. Mustang owners have to ask themselves.
Yeah, it's very, very important we figure that out first.
Yeah, LJ, your comment just popped up on the screen. There's probably a little bit of a delay, but
So
actually, the guy after that, because Grant had spun out his car right after that as well, and the guy's like, "Why are all the Mustangs trying to kill us?"
yeah,
So yes, to answer your question, they do.
they got like magnetic force that drags them towards crowds.
Feels.
But my thing would be, we've lost so many cars going through the years, and what cars would you want to see come back? Kind of like how the Camaro did, kind of like how some cars did it the right way with the Challenger, and it came back as a two-door, and the Charger came back as a four-door, or whatever. But what car would you want to see come back
I'll think about that.
as like a
I can think
modern
of two.
day
Viewers,
car?
I want to hear from the viewers too. There's 9 of you guys
Yeah,
on right
so
now. I want to hear what you guys are.
Let's see those
saying.
cars you guys want to see come back.
I can think of two.
All right.
One, the El Camino.
And I hear they might be bringing that back.
That's bullshit. They're never gonna bring it
It's
back.
never coming back.
They did in the form of the Subaru Baja.
Right.
That was.
So, I mean, they had the Holden Ute, whatever.
Yep.
So it's not like it would be that hard for them to bring it over, but they never will,
Yeah.
because honestly, only hillbillies would really want one.
Right.
Right? I mean, I would never actually buy one, but I think it would be cool to see. Mustang owners.
I don't know.
I would love to see one though. I think it's just cool. Like El Caminos are cool.
I just
Right,
saw an old
right,
one today. I'm
right.
really
All right.
The
Good
second
Camino.
one is the Mercedes 190, the Cosworth.
Yep.
We got and
Oh yeah, I would like that.
the The reason I say that is because it had the old dog
leg, yes.
manual transmission. You can't get an AMG Mercedes anymore.
Right.
With a manual,
transmission.
and I love the concept of a dog leg. I would love to have a dog leg transmission.
In practice, I hear it doesn't work so well.
What do you mean? For like daily driving?
Yeah. If it's your
Why would
first
it be
time
any-
in.
If it's your first car that you've learned manual on, you wouldn't instinctively put first in.
Right.
So it'd be a learning experience, just like they had in the Top Gear, where James May's constantly putting
And
the car in
that's what I'm
reverse. It would be a
thinking
pain
of
in the
right
ass.
now.
Yeah.
Especially, I can't stand it when people crawl up your ass when you're on a hill in a manual, and it's like, thanks,
Yep.
appreciate that.
Right.
Now I have to put extra thought into, you know.
Well,
So
well
let's-
now, but see, the thing is, now
because we
cars,
live in Florida, keep that in mind. For any
Yeah, but
viewers, we
now
all live in
cars-
Florida, so like when we come to a hill in a manual, you actually have to think about it.
not really, because cars now have the
Your
automatic
car,
lock.
well, yours does.
Yeah, but
Mine's a
I-
99.
Yeah, but any cars that do, I'm saying, you're talking about bringing cars back. They have that
True.
lock. They have that feature.
That's about
The majority of them are gonna have that feature.
either way. I think that
It's not as
having
fun.
a
It's figuring out how to get
Cosworth,
started,
like
but-
nice, proper, like the idea of building like a stripped out track version. Mike's Super Snake. Oh my
I'm not
god.
bringing Mike Super.
We're not talking about that.
We're not gonna talk about Mike's
okay.
Super Snake.
So wait, Jim Stevens
Yeah,
says
Jim
the
said
DeLorean.
DeLorean,
So
yeah.
my question for Jim would be, do you make it out of stainless steel like they used to make it, heavy as hell?
I would argue that the DeLorean has never gone away because there is a fact.
They're
there's a
rebuilding
company.
it right
No, there's
now.
a company I believe in Vegas somewhere in
because
Shelby
it time
that
travels
continues
to whenever it needs to be.
right
This is true.
that still builds them.
Where they're going, they don't need roads.
Pretty sure they do.
I'm pretty sure they actually need the roads.
But the idea is bringing it back in a modern manner, not just the same build.
So what would you make
so.
what would you make the DeLorean out of?
I mean, the
Aluminum.
DeLorean's practically like in terms of being a Gullwing car.
Right.
It's basically the
Texas.
What, the SLS?
place where they make them, I guess.
is the
Texas. Thank you.
SLS kind of look.
the
Yeah.
SLS is the Gullwing, right, from
Which has been
Mercedes.
discontinued.
Now, granted,
Yeah.
it's not. That's a front engine car or front
Right.
mid engine because
Right.
the hood's like
Yeah.
20 feet long.
It's very long.
But that's kind of I don't know. I don't think that's close enough to DeLorean-ish.
No.
That's just based. That's just a modern view on the old.
Yeah.
Whatever
On
the
the
hell that was
300
called.
SL.
So
Yes.
I really want them to bring back the Supra. Because I'm a fan
Cool.
of Supra.
Yeah.
And
That's a
they
good
were
one.
considering it, and
That's
there
a
was a
good one.
picture of one that came
That's-
up.
I didn't think
It's-
of that one. That's a
and
good one.
They're
that
still working on
photo looked. I mean, this
What are you
supposed to be
pulling up on your phone?
I'm just pulling something out. Don't worry about it. Need to refresh
the
my
picture.
memory.
Well, the story is they're supposed to be developing it with BMW. So my thought
No,
is
they are building it.
They are building it with BMW. So like the GTR came back, much more expensive than the original, but not the value.
Still not that expensive,
Right.
compared to like its level of performance.
So I'm hoping that they would bring back the Supra in a way that it's affordable but expensive in the same way. It's got GTR like qualities that compete with GTR.
what $60,000?
Yeah.
Because I mean that would be expensive.
Pretty expensive, but people can afford it. It's
Some
dude,
people can afford it.
some people can afford it,
People
but it's
who own
not.
GT350s
It's
can
not
afford
out
it.
of exactly.
Dick.
So
Just sit there and laugh to yourself.
right. So I like to see that come back.
On board with the Supra.
Right.
I would have to say Chevelle.
Well,
Chevelle, big block car from Chevy. I want to see a two-door. They sort of did the Chevy SS.
Right.
But that was a four-door based off of a Holden, right?
Yeah.
I want to see a two-door LS7 powered, stripes down the center.
So I have a weird one.
yes, you do.
All right,
Grant.
we're ready.
Yes,
for
you
your,
do.
for your weird.
So I think Ford
right now.
should bring back the Sunbeam Tiger, 1961.
Tiger Rising.
The Sunbeam Tiger. It was powered by a Ford engine, and it was kind of the predecessor to the Cobra.
predecessor to the Cobra.
Right.
But you know, bring it back as a competitor to the Miata, and that would be awesome. Put like the RS engine in it.
Find a picture of baby blue. It looks much better. Those hunter green crap.
Well, it's a British car, but it had a
Yeah.
Ford engine.
Racing green.
I don't care what it is.
It's not hunter green. What are you, redneck?
That is not baby blue.
Oh, just give up. Anyway, switch back from Google Images.
Do any of the other viewers want to see something brought back other than what we mentioned?
The DeLorean.
DeLorean was mentioned. Mike Super Snake is mentioned, and Texas.
Okay.
Well, no, the DeLorean.
manufacture-
That's where they.
Texas
I'm just
back.
reading, okay?
Texas, bring back Texas.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
You guys are really hating when I say that this car should be brought back, but you're gonna have to Google image it as well, just so you kind of get an idea.
Grant, you have to Google image this car for us.
So-
What is it?
Google image a 1970 Cadillac Eldorado.
Oh
God.
Okay, hold up.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I'm all about things that are really unappreciated, and
This car is.
this
Specifically
thing,
a 1970.
specifically 1970, because it really actually looks more like a muscle car more than like a cruiser. In the later 70s, it looked more like a old pimp cruiser. This one actually kind of looks like a muscle car. And what most people don't know about this car, it actually came with an 8.2 liter engine. And they kind of forget it's the biggest production engine that they actually put in the car. It was
Yeah, but it got like 100 and something horsepower, probably, didn't it?
Actually, before they tuned
Got more power than your
before the Saudis and Haji took, they wanted all their oil money and all that. Before the
He's
cars
allowed to
were-
say that.
Yeah,
You're allowed to say that.
Just to clarify. I don't know how his complexion is in the light, but he's allowed to say that.
Yeah. So before the cars were detuned, my car was making 450 horsepower and 500 pounds of torque. Now, granted, it was being put in a sloppy 3-speed transmission, and things are exactly using power in the most efficient manner. But if you brought that back as like something maybe to compete more with like the Challenger, because it's a bigger car,
Yeah.
What price point do you think it'll come back at?
500 cubic inch. Jesus.
you can keep it in the 50 starting or something.
Would you buy it?
I don't think it would start in the 50s.
All right, I'll give Mo credit. It says, Wikipedia says 400 horsepower.
All expensive shit. What's that, Grant?
Wikipedia says 400 horsepower for 1970 for the 8.2 liter.
Yeah,
It was a heavy car, though.
Yeah, like 400 horsepower.
400 horsepower in
400
1970 was a lot.
It was
underrated,
a lot. That's like
Yeah, but it weighed as much as a cruise ship, so.
so. But
More
bring that
ballast.
back.
I'll at least
Bring that back. I think that'd be
I'll
interesting.
semi agree with you because one of the project cars that I would love to have is a Mark III Lincoln, like a Continental, the suicide door Lincoln. Put it on airbags and put it like a Coyote motor in it and redo the interior and just have a badass cruiser. I would love to have something like that.
Honestly, I would probably buy one of those if it was clean and then put an LS engine in
Yeah.
and make
Yeah.
my
An
own.
LSA.
Because it looks good just the way it is.
LSA, all
Do you
the
want to
things,
wait
right,
25 more years to put an LSA in that
Yeah.
car, too?
Well, no, that one would probably need what is that, LS7?
Fiero?
Yeah.
Oh God, no!
Why?
John wanted me to
Yes.
John wanted
Okay,
me to
so-
build a Fiero, and I
so-
said, "Hell
Well,
no,
why not?
no, hell Fiero."
Hold on. A lot of the issues
Fiero.
with the Fiero were the fact of like when it was made, right?
Yeah.
There is nothing. The era of the Fiero was shit for cars.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like
It's
the
not
So if
car's
they were
fault.
to rebuild a car like that today, now I would say that if they were to rebuild a car like that today, it would look a lot like the Toyota MRS
Two.
Spider or whatever that was.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is you have
Which is an
with-
ugly
with,
car.
with all cars from the 80s.
Yes.
So there wasn't a single good car. made in
80s
the
and early 90s.
There wasn't a single good car manufactured.
Mark
in
Except for
that
the
Mark
Supra.
III Supra. I was gonna say Mark III
Supra.
Supra. Come on.
NSX came out in the early 90s. Damn good car.
Nothing American made.
The thing is, okay, that's true because the thing is with the
You just said it's true and you own a 1992 Camaro.
I was telling you my point though. From like 5 to 94, old engines were detuned because they were trying to save gas,
Right,
and they didn't know how to do it.
That's why your car makes how much horsepower?
170.
When it was new.
So that's why it needs an engine.
How many years is it old?
20, 25, yeah.
Let's do math.
Quick math.
It's 25.
It's got 100 horsepower.
And now we're on the 50th anniversary of the Camaro.
Right.
But going back to the Fiero, interesting LJ says that because I was actually looking into getting a Fiero as like my project.
Were you going to make it a Lizardo?
I was gonna put an LS engine in
You've
it.
seen those, right? Cruising around town because they're made in Bradenton,
Right.
I think,
I was gonna
or
swap it.
Palmetto or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen. There's one on YouTube. Someone put an LS engine in it, and it's. I don't think it can handle power because it's just like the front
That
wheels.
would be ridiculous.
The front wheels want to come off the ground, and you're not even dragging the thing. That's
Right,
how much, because
right.
all the weight's in the back, and it's an interesting car. It really is.
All right, so should we move on to the next topic,
Right,
which
yeah.
is yours or mine? I don't think you
can go.
done
Did you do yours yet?
I haven't done mine.
Okay, we can go.
All right.
Ladies first.
What is now, John? You may have an opinion on this because you've autocrossed once.
Okay.
But what is the first modification that you should do to a car in preparation for autocross?
I do have an opinion.
All right,
Please.
please, Mister, I have an opinion.
It'd be tires, a sticky set of tires. Because my Mustang, which I didn't introduce in the beginning of the show, 2012 GT CS 4 Mustang 5-liter. Basically, all I've done
Very
is
loud.
power mods to it. So it dynoed a little over 520 just recently, and I could not put any of that down. In fact, the instructor was yelling at me saying, "You don't have to use all of the power all of the time." I spent most of my time.
You only have 170 horsepower. It's easy to use all of it all the time.
Apparently, his nose always in the dirt, so I'm not sure how easy it is.
But so that was my
I can count
mentality.
the
Yes,
times.
yes, I should use all the power all the time. I'll just blame it on my tires, which are all seasoned. Therefore, I can't put it down.
Stickers.
Stickers, exactly.
All right, Mo. What is your thought?
I agree with tires. Me personally, I don't think I went tires right away because I wanted to get a set of wheels. But just saying I agree with tires because that's where you're going to get most of your time. From the tire review I did, going from my stock tires to the RE71 Rs, I think I gained close to 4 seconds. That was about 3.5, but that pushed me from like 68th place to like 28th. So if you want to be, not on the last of the list, tires are going to get you most of your money.
Mike.
I mean, tires is, I think, the obvious choice, but I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about doing worse tires and building your skill first, because you cover up some of your mistakes with getting stickier tires. I think stickers is a good one. But
All right, Grant, what is your opinion?
I think just a slight modification to that, just a second set of wheels with obviously tires. That way, you don't have to constantly compromise with, streetability versus raceability.
a better mod here that Scott's like holding out.
No. So
A working car
Actually-
in Scott's case.
actually, yeah, for me,
Traded.
it's a friend's car. Aha! No, actually, I'm surprised by this. I didn't think that Mike would get the right answer. The answer is nothing. It's a driver mod.
Right.
Because this is your problem.
This
is your
Mr.
problem.
Drag Racer.
You built your car first for something else.
Yes.
And maybe I should have clarified, but this is assuming you have a relatively stock car.
Right.
Assuming you have a relatively stock car, then the tires that came on it are fine for doing your first autocross.
Right.
There's no reason to. You don't need slicks on a Honda
even the
Civic
next
or
okay.
or
even
a
the
home
next few.
stock.
Even the next
So,
few.
The Pilot Super Sports that came on your GT350 or the tires that come on a bone
What
stock
about
Mustang.
the ATS tires?
The ATS tires were shit, but you still autocrossed on
I
them.
did, and I had a good time.
And you built up your skill level. And
Right,
that's
right.
the whole point, is in order to go out and have fun with a car, don't have to do anything to it.
And the tires didn't really help me because I went on Grant's Hoosiers and literally went off the track 50 feet off the start line.
Yeah,
so.
it takes a long time to build that knowledge base and get used to that. And Scott's right. Jumping into a sticky set of tires, I mean, it's starting at medium difficulty or starting at hard difficulty, like Mike did with the slicks on my car. So
I had a good time.
Well, he asked it in a very tricky way because
he did. I'll agree there because he tricked me.
I knew he had something up his sleeve.
I took my car stock to several different events. I always tell him, like, hey, you got to get your baseline, take it to the drag strip. And he's like, oh, I don't want to drag strip, I'm straight, whatever. But yeah, I'm all about taking your car stock, find out what it can do stock, and then see.
Yeah, like So one of the questions I always get is, I try and tell people come out autocrossing. They say my car is not ready, and I'm like, what do you think it needs? Like, oh, I need suspension. I say no. Come autocrossing and then see what it needs, because you may not need suspension.
That's exactly the point. Is so many people will, including friends of mine, will ask me, all right, what should I do? What should I do first?
Right.
And my answer is nothing. Just come out and have fun.
Right.
Because you might not even like it. You might not even like it, right?
Don't like it.
You might not like autocrossing. So why spend any money on it? So,
LJ. I mean, LJ's comment.
starting with the stock GT3.
LJ, I
will
do
definitely shave time off the autocross time.
I want to clarify the car I use is the Mustang, not the Honda that I have. I don't have a 520 horsepower Honda.
You don't?
No. Although I thought
No,
about
it could be.
I
Crazy.
thought
crazy
about
big.
working on it, yeah.
And Anthony P says he autocross 500 treadwear P0 Neros for a year. Yeah, my ATS tires were 500 treadwear, and if you go back into the archives of our channel, there are 2 videos of me. One, the Endurocross video with Scott's in the car, and we're doing like 4 or 5 laps,
It
and
was fun.
all you hear is for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah. Those tires were just squealing. But
Right.
no, I mean, honestly, the average car, when you take it off the lot, comes on tires that are good enough to go autocrossing without.
Right.
And I mean, sure, if you
And
want to
that's-
get to a competition level, then yes, you have to get tires. There's no
Sure.
question about that. And then with coming something like tires, then you're adding way more grip than what the factory setup was supposed to handle. So sure, then after you do the tires, you might want to look at
Suspension.
doing the suspension to handle the tires. But you definitely don't want to go in and spend $5,000 or more or whatever on a bunch of parts that your car might not need.
So summary on that is, if you're coming out for the first time, autocross is meant to be very accessible to everyone to come out and race. So that
Yeah, you're not supposed to get slicks and spend $20,000 on a car, because it's just stupid.
only
Kind of
Exactly.
defeating the purpose.
yeah,
My closing point would be
My car doesn't even run.
shitting your tires.
Yeah.
it is fun. Well, I had a lot of fun on the Cadillac when I was just
Yeah.
doing crazy
Besides,
tires.
If you come out in the tires that are on your car and you autocross, you're also going to learn a lot about what the capabilities of your car are.
In real application.
You'll get better at controlling it. Like if something jumps out in front of me on the road, I know what my car's handling capabilities are. I mean, there are plenty of instances where I've had to do very quick maneuvers, and I have absolutely pushed my car to the limit during that maneuver, but I was able to pull it back
Grant pulled
in.
up the video of us at the Endurocross.
Oh,
I know there's a way to have sound coming through, but all you hear is squealing as we're flying.
and my face.
Scott's face like,
I mean,
no, I'm gonna
my
die.
face says it all.
I'm gonna die.
See?
Cone.
See?
Ah!
Exactly. I was just laughing the whole time.
He's like getting murdering cones. Pretty sure.
All right.
Either way,
This is the last topic.
Mike.
All right. So my topic was, and I brought this. I think this was a good topic because I recently experienced 2 cars, unlike mine. So I'm talking about automatic transmission. I posted this in our Facebook group, which is on our Facebook today. Automatic transmission.
Boring question.
6-speed. No, it's not a boring question.
It's a
because-
question that like a million people see. I would say it's a good question because you see the stickers like what Mo has on his car, which says "Real men drive with 3 pedals."
And I have a car with 3 pedals, but
But based on the picture that's on
hold
Facebook,
on.
we all know you're a guy.
One of my
What?
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 yeah, the CTSV has 4 pedals.
It's got a brake pedal.
The park brake is
So,
yeah.
you're like actually clutching. You actually put the parking brake.
Yeah, it's way up there.
I'm sure it's way up,
But I'm asking this question because I recently drove a 458 GT race car with paddle shifting. I drove a Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce with paddle shifters. So I really love driving a 6-speed. However, I had a blast driving those cars with
Yeah, I'm bringing it up.
instantaneous shifts. And Scott, you had the GTR. When we went on the track, and that car was very fast, and you were coming up to the corners, I thought we were gonna die. 1, 2. The shifts were like boom, 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 boom. So I think it's like I think it's a question of fun versus speed, because you can be fast with 6-speed, but you can be very fast with paddle shift with a good
I would
automatic transmission.
I would agree 100%. And the
There you
evidence
go. I got it up, video up.
that supposedly we have a video.
I don't see
It's
it.
not working, Grant.
There it is.
Give it a second.
It's there.
I think there's too much of a delay to try to stream that. But
It's gone.
anyway, no, I would agree with Mike's statement because when you look at all the new manufacturers, like the new GT3 RS, not available with the manual.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the race cars that exist right now, right? Minus a NASCAR, which let me tell you, at least a NASCAR is a 4-speed. It's a clutchless 4-speed. Right. Race cars being the example of the fastest possible option.
Right.
They're either automatic or semi-automatic, right? Like a sequential.
Yeah.
You use the clutch to start, and then after that, it's all, with the shifter lever, right? Coming from my GTR, I mean, that was ridiculously quick shifting, ridiculously fast.
Right.
I mean, it was bonkers how quick it was. I mean, even a Volkswagen GTI with the dual clutch, very fast shifting.
So my thoughts are, if you have a car and it's not a race car, right? If you have a race car or a car that's built well that has a very good automatic transmission, you can have a lot of fun and it's going to be very fast. But if you have a car that doesn't have a great automatic transmission, you're going to have way more fun in a stick. And you're probably going to be faster with the stick versus having, like, if you have a normal car. I'm saying, like, if you have a normal car, you're going to autocross it, obviously. You're going to want probably a stick to control the gearing. I don't like any normal automatic transmission is not going to be worth it. But if you have a good automatic transmission, like in a higher end car or GTR or something like that, it can be a lot of fun. And if it's a racing application too,
I just think in today's age, there's no downside to either. It's all personal preference. There's no downside. There's not a negative to the automatic.
Yeah.
So I mean, because in my application, I didn't want the GTR because we live in Florida. We don't have a whole lot of traffic to deal with. Well, I don't. Because of where I live.
Okay.
I live out in the middle of nowhere in Florida.
Sure.
And I don't have traffic to deal with.
Right.
now.
So
I know you don't, yeah.
having a manual is not a big deal. Like, I don't have to worry about traffic.
Okay.
Because so having a manual adds pleasure to it. If I lived somewhere where I had, because there are some places, like let's say Boston or something like that. Have you ever tried going into Boston?
I lived in Boston.
Okay, you know how bad the traffic is.
That's better.
Not when you live not when you live outside of Boston and you have to commute in.
If you say so. I've lived up there. I've lived in every pretty major Northeast city, and I think Florida's the worst. Anyway,
when you have to deal with traffic,
yeah,
an automatic is more convenient, and not everybody has the luxury of having two cars. You have two cars. You have a Honda and you have a Mustang.
right. Okay, so
your fun car is the manual.
yes. All right.
But if you could only have one car, and dealing with shitty traffic, would you take a car with a good automatic
Okay.
over having a car with a manual?
I have an answer to that question, but I have some backstory to it. Okay. If the question is what is better, manual or automatic, in terms of lap time, daily usage, involvement, in today's world, the answer is no doubt an automatic.
Yeah.
They have advanced so much further and faster than a manual.
Millisecond shifting. I mean,
Exactly.
So beyond what's
instantaneous,
capable.
no drop in.
I don't care if you're the best manual shifter
Right.
in the world and you can heel toe like a champ.
But
Not as fast as an automatic.
I know walking up to a dealership, if I'm looking at a ZL1 with a new 10-speed automatic and a ZL1 with a 6-speed manual, I'm driving home in the manual.
No doubt.
I cannot put myself in that car with the automatic. I just can't.
But that's because this is the
I just might as well give him my balls and just leave.
Take that car around the ring in a 10-speed automatic, you're gonna have.
But we don't drive on the
shifts
ring.
so
We don't
fast.
drive on the
But
ring.
you could.
Again, it's all about it's all about personal preference.
Yep.
I mean, I've had people say to me like, "Oh, you have a GTR, like, blah blah blah," and they don't even know that it's not available in manual.
I didn't know until we drove it.
My car wasn't available in an automatic. You could only get the GT350 in a
Right.
6-speed, and I don't
And
know.
that's why I love my V.
And with the GT500, I'm assuming they're gonna do the same thing. I don't think they're gonna have an automatic option.
Probably not.
I
Well,
think they will.
Well, I just
I
I think
doubt-
they'll put in that 10 speed.
10-speed. They spent a ton of money developing it with Chevy. They're going to put it in the GT.
Think so? All right.
Well, this is the problem. The CTSV started only with a manual, and the second gen gave you options. Third gen now took away the manual. You only come with an automatic. Granted, it's faster, but that kind of breaks the cycle.
There's other reasons too for the manufacturers to only offer an automatic. An automatic, a computer takes control over everything. There are fewer things to break, and when you start adding in more and more and more power, it gets really easy to screw something up and grenade your car.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for us gearheads, I think the future is going to be almost strictly automatic with a sprinkling
with
of
mostly.
Well, it's
with
already
with mostly
It was already
boosted-
like that. I feel like manuals are coming back more than they're going away. Look at Ford as an example. You can't get an ST or an RS. So a Fiesta ST, a Focus ST, a Focus RS, a GT350. You cannot get those cars.
Ford is a holdout,
a
but
manual.
they're a holdout, but they're a major.
Yeah. Ford's pretty unique right now, positioned in the market. They're like one of the few brands that has how many sports cars they have compared to other brands. I mean, look at them.
The sport model.
with the resurgence of the Ford GT. I mean, they went balls to the walls with their sport line. I mean,
Well, the ST came out before the GT.
but I think anticipation of like bringing all these cars to market.
Yeah.
Their Ford Performance, I think, as a business is just. I mean, they are uniquely positioned against most. I mean, but Chevrolet. I mean, they have cars coming out too.
But Chevy doesn't really have much for performance. They have the Corvette, the Camaro, and really nothing else. I mean,
Well,
You guys have the SS, the Malibu SS, don't they?
you said Chevy. I mean, Chevy.
What's the little Chevy hatchback that has an SS badge on it? It's like a really little box. It's like literally could fit.
It's
in
like I think it's the
Sonic?
Cruise. Or
the
something.
Sonic. There's
No,
one in our
it's
parking lot.
It's the
Yeah.
Cruise. It's the Cruise.
No, there's a Sonic.
There's
It's
a
like
Sonic.
it's like a Mini Cooper smushed into a smart car, and then it has like an SS badge on it.
and it's got like
Oh, the Spark?
SS badge on it?
I think
I
it's
thought it
got
had like an
SS
RS badge on it.
Yeah, it's an RS. It's an RS.
I don't know, Grant. You find it. Chevy Sonic SS.
No, I think it's RS.
probably
It could be an RS.
And then Cadillac's only gone down to the CTSV, and there's no more B of anything else.
ATSV.
No, the ATSV, which is nice. ATSV. And at least that comes in a manual.
Those engines, BMW M car. I mean, they're all going to twin turbo engines. I mean, I'm really thinking the GT500 is going to come out with the Eco Beast.
The Ford GT version.
Right. Naturally,
something about
not naturally
that.
aspirated.
Like a
boosted,
slightly detuned
Yeah.
version of the Ford GT.
crazy boot. Yeah, I think they're going to do that.
So
LJ
LJ's bringing in the electric cars.
The future of the automobile, and in the short term, are going to be electric or hybrid, boosted, small displacement motors. A 1 liter, 3-cylinder.
One of the
hybrid.
things, one of the
Future
cars
cars.
that genuinely excited me when I first read about kind of like the concept was the Supra,
Yeah.
because it was a hybrid turbo motor.
Right.
The electric motor kicks in, and then the turbo kicks in, and as long as you tune it correctly, which you're talking about millions of dollars invested in R&D,
Well,
it's very easy to make it
invested that R&D.
seamless.
They invested
That way,
R&D in, like the
you
i8.
stomp on the gas, the electric motor provides you all the power that you need until your turbo kicks in, and then they just dial back the electric motor, and then you go all turbo mode.
Think about the cars already using.
That way you stomp
those
on it, and it's
hybrid.
just got ridiculous
You have
amount of
the
power.
McLaren P1, you have the LaFerrari, you have the 918
918.
Porsche, and then you have the i8. All those cars are using.
The i8 is shit.
I know, but but either way, they're using electric and they're using gas.
Yeah.
Combinations to make way more power. They're hybrid cars. So all the R&D is in those cars already. They've done the research.
What electricity does is it takes the emotion out of the car. So you're looking at it purely mechanical, from a mechanical perspective. How do I get from A to B as fast as possible?
Yeah.
Almost like a drag race.
I'm okay with that.
All right, but
From a driver.
what if we look back at the greatest cars of the last 20 years? What are they? The E46 M3, the original NSX. We're talking about mechanical, naturally aspirated, bare bones cars that make you feel like you're part of the machine.
And they're not always the fastest.
Exactly.
Well, the fun. You're talking about speed versus fun, right? I think it goes back to
Well, I mean, if you wanna
automatic
talk
versus
about
stick. I mean,
the
Yeah.
perfect example of that, any Dodge.
Okay.
They're total shit, but they're fun to drive.
only Dodge I like is the Viper. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, except for the
Says
Viper.
the guy that wants to buy a Viper. If it's,
I would love that.
I like the Viper. I think it's
I
a
would
great car.
absolutely own a Viper.
But I did drive a a Challenger. This is for fun before I got the Shelby, and it wasn't a stick. I don't think they even come in sticks, but they got the paddle shifting. And I get out on the road near us. Won't name the dealership. Put the pedal down on this. It was an RT. I don't think it wasn't like the Hellcat, but it was a faster version. It got the shaker, all that stuff in it. Put the pedal down. Immediately revs out to the red line. I hit the paddle shifter. Nothing happens. It just goes bang. And I'm going down the street and the guy's like, "You can put it in automatic." I'm like, "No, this isn't working." And I'm like hitting the thing, and it's bang. So I'm like, I touched the little, the stick thing, and it shifted, and I'm like, "This is not working." He said, "You can do automatic." Like, that's not the point of this car. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah, no, LJ, the fake noise bumped into the i8.
Oh,
Right.
well,
The Mustang
that's criminal.
does that.
No. So the Mustang
did
does
that.
not pump in fake noise. There's a sound tube connecting you to the intake, which is real intake sound, whereas BMW uses the speakers to generate fake sound, which is
The
great.
sound tube was only to the 11 Plus Mustangs. That was new.
I removed mine, but it wasn't fake.
Either way,
It's
it
just
was
amplifying your
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's putting in sound that doesn't exist at all, and it's putting in sound
Right.
for you only.
now if
Everyone
I
else around
understand,
you is like,
if I understand, the speakers are not necessarily creating fake noise per se, but they're amplifying the noise. It creates it at the same frequency and tune, but it amplifies it. That way it sounds louder than what it is. It's not fake, but it sounds louder.
We'll
it is fake.
We'll have to fact check this because so in the M6,
But it
which
is
is V8, I believe it's just amplified.
it actually sounds really good though.
In the i8, which is a 3-cylinder, I believe they fake.
Is it fake?
I believe it's
Well,
fake.
3-cylinder
in the i8.
can't. I mean, what can you do with that?
That's
What
true.
does it sound like?
I mean,
Well, it sounds like a
I will,
5,
I
it
will
sounds like
at
a
least
10.
say, like, yeah, you have hypercars like the Ferrari, you have the 918, you have, the P1,
right? P1.
right? All these cars were made to be as ridiculously fast as you can possibly go, using all the technology that's available.
Formula
The
1 technology.
i8, the intent of the i8 was to make a car that is not. It's not a hypercar. You can't say that the i8 competes with a 918.
No.
It does not.
No,
It's expensive.
It's a 911.
It's expensive.
Right.
It's an electric car though. How are they amplifying V8 roar?
Well, if we're talking about the i8, it is a hybrid. It's got a 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine mated to an electric motor. I believe 2 electric motors.
Petrol.
What's under the bonnet?
He's all proper now.
So, no, I mean, the i8, for what it is, it's a decent car. For what it is.
Would you buy one over a 911 for the same one?
Hell no.
I would never. I don't like the way the i8 looks. To be honest with you,
The i8 is a sharp car.
I don't think so.
I think
it's a sharp one.
You know what? I think that from
it's
electric
wild.
car standpoint,
It's different. It's fun.
You don't have
it's
to.
exciting.
You don't have to make an electric car look like it's from the fucking future. It's a car. It's now. Like Tesla made cars. They look like they're regular cars, electric cars. You don't need to make a car look like it's a DeLorean.
The doors on the Model X.
Yeah, but that's just
doors.
doors.
Yeah.
That's just doors, though. It's not the car itself. Looks fairly regular.
that was
You know what I
it.
mean? It's not some sort of spaceship. Like when they start making all the hybrid cars, it's like, why are the back wheels covered by random plastic? Like it's some sort of special spaceship.
Aerodynamics, no?
The Honda.
Insight.
What is it called?
The Insight.
The
Is it
Insight,
someone
thank you.
autocross that car?
Yes, and I've been beat by it.
Yeah. So it's like, why do you have to do that? It's just a car. Not you have to do some special weird thing with the wheels. It's an electric car.
Hey, they're trying to hypermile, yo.
Oh god.
But
I can't do electric.
I think the i8 is a cool car. I wouldn't personally, for the price tag. There are a lot of other things I'd rather have, but that's because I'm a gearhead.
It reminds me of iRobot. Like in the future, everyone's driving those Audis that are electronic that drive themselves. And then Will Smith goes and finds his motorcycle that's gas powered. He gets on and drives around. And it's like that's what we're gonna be like in 20 years.
So I would say that the i8 is kind of like it's a well-made version of the Fisker Karma.
Yes, I agree.
Because it's
Fisker Karma was not a one-way car.
It
looks cool though.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
It's cool looking.
Yeah.
But it's actually fast.
It's cool looking.
Ish. Yeah.
It goes 0 to 60 in low 4s, high 3s.
I don't know.
Grant, look it up.
I only said ish because in today's world, fast has got a whole new meaning. And
Well, yeah. Okay, you want to talk about the fastest car? The Tesla P100D.
Yeah.
An electric car.
Yeah, it goes 0 to million.
0 to 60 in like 2.3 something seconds.
It's got all the power.
And no emotion.
Yeah.
So
It just
And
one of the
agree.
problems
I
that you
wouldn't-
have with something like the
wouldn't want it.
GTR is it's so easy to drive fast, right? You get into a lot of high horsepower cars, and it kind of slows you down because you're in a manual, like, yeah, have fun. The GTR was just whee right through it. So
Yeah.
it was just ridiculously fast. The P100, but the problem was it was also really loud. So if I was hauling ass through traffic, everybody knew about it. The P100D, I can have as much fun as I want hauling ass, but no one will know. It's just a blur.
got a comment.
There's a question for
Mark
Mo here.
S. Any updates on the 3rd gen Camaro?
Well,
Oh, geez.
And we're off.
And that's all the time we've
That's
got
all
for
the
tonight.
time.
Thanks for watching.
but just to be quick about it.
But that your car is not quick.
No, actually, I was at BMR.
That's true. It's not. Yeah. Although he thought it was because he did a gear swap and didn't change the speedometer. Look at how fast it's going. They actually called me. It's like, my car got to 60 so fast. And I'm like, I'm next to you doing like 40.
Anyways, hey, is anyone asking about your cars?
True.
So,
Because my cars don't run.
yeah, that's an update every time. No, that's it's back together. I was actually at BMR just the other day. That was yesterday, I think.
Shout out to
So,
BMR.
thank you, BMR, for finally getting me in and fixing the Watts link issues. Since putting in the new rear end, the Watts link wasn't really matching up very well. It was kind of eating into itself. So we got some new links in there. Should be good. The only issues I'm facing now are first one being, and I think I'm doing some research. I think it's because of the Coney shocks about the lean, where the driver's side is about half-inch higher.
That wouldn't have anything to do with shocks, though.
I mean, I looked it up, and everyone's saying when they put those shocks on, their car was higher on one side than the other.
How would that have
And
anything to do with
I'm
shocks?
trying to figure it out.
Wait a second. So we're driving. Scott's going to find a Fox Body Mustang for a cruiser, and we're driving behind Mo because Mo's trying to beat us there, and I'm in my Shelby. He's trying to be faster than me for whatever reason. Anyway, Mo's in front of us, but we're behind a cop, and he starts swerving around. I'm like, looking at Mo's back of his car. I'm like, why is it tilting? But it's tilting not the way you would think.
It looked like he had a
Heavy passenger.
A very heavy passenger.
A very heavy passenger because
That's,
it was
the PC way of saying it.
Yes, and I'm like, something's wrong
I
with
was
this
gonna
car.
say that chick, but that.
Something's very wrong with this car.
So again, I looked it up. People have said their cars lean once they got those adjustable conies, the yellow conies, at the same time.
How does that make any
I-
sense?
it doesn't
User
make any
error
sense yet.
adjusted wrong.
It doesn't make any
No, but
sense.
I went all the way soft, all around. It doesn't make any sense.
They're all
Trust
the way
me, I
soft,
agree. But I'm gonna try to
Come
figure
back,
out.
Super Snake.
I think if I can get because the idea came to me with the CTSV, you need spacers in the rear because they have the automatic leveling system. So if you lower the car, you have to put a spacer for the shock. So maybe if I can get a half-inch spacer
On both sides or
on
one
both,
side?
no, just the.
But the shock doesn't hold up the car.
It does in this car because when I stiffen the shocks, it actually raised the car.
That doesn't make any sense.
I stiffened the shocks and it raised the car.
I mean,
With the code. It doesn't make sense to me either. Trust
when
me.
Mike gets stiff,
Sounds like your suspension might be binding or something.
But again, and then the other
What are we showing here, Grant?
the other fun thing is I'm working on creating a vent tube for the rear end because where the vent tube normally is on the Moser rear end is right where the Watts link clamps down on it. So it's not letting it vent properly, and it's just spewing gear oil everywhere. So those are my two issues.
typical Chevy problem.
Yeah, at least it runs.
Right.
Hey, I can turn my car on if that's the game. Turn it on.
Currently, just beating the hell out
At
of it.
idle, my car makes more power than yours does.
So
I don't know why I hang out with you Mustang people.
I was talking about my Corvette.
Any questions from the viewers? Yeah, a few on there. Any
More
more
questions?
before
Do we have our
questions?
intent was to talk about a few topics.
Yeah,
and I think that
was
we
that was
did.
good. We did a few. I think we'll do this
We're
again.
happy to talk. If there's any questions about any questions, what are the topics that you
Scott's
guys
had
want
too
to talk
much
about?
Canadian whiskey. He can't talk straight.
Oh, by the way, Mark, I know I did a vlog about the Camaro like a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen
No
that.
one cares.
Obviously, someone does care.
Oh,
Screw you guys. I'm good.
see ya.
Well, no, why don't we end with what's going on? So,
Yeah, so this weekend we are going to the Tire Rack Pro Solo. It's an SCCA event in Fort Myers, Florida. It's a national event. So we're definitely not going to be very competitive, but we're going to have a good time. We're going to
Speak for yourself.
We're going to try to speak for somebody who told me specifically.
yeah, I think Scott and we'll be fighting for second, I think,
Yeah?
in street mod.
We'll see what happens.
I think so. I mean, when you look at the competition, you've got Tim White in his heavily modified
408 Pro.
Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
No, I think we've got one car that's definitely going to be faster than us. But you know,
I'm not putting on my new tires.
Can you
so
pull
I'm
up
just
the
gonna burn out
attendee
tires I have.
list for that event?
Grant, can you pull it up?
is
So
there
what?
The attendee.
I want to see who I'm competing against. Myself.
Yeah,
and
you can figure it out later.
yourself.
You can figure it out later. You play yourself.
ESP,
Yeah.
you're probably by yourself.
Yeah.
So we'll be competitive, but it's a national event, so I don't think we're gonna be. It's gonna be. tough.
We
It's
are
gonna be tough.
locally we're very competitive, but nationally you're on a whole nother playing field.
Right.
I mean, these cars are fast.
So we're gonna have fun that weekend, and then what else we got going on? We're going to Grid Life in August, probably Mustang Week in September.
That's a long time from now.
Right. I may be in Monticello Raceway in a Maserati, and I'm trying to petition to get a Pagani out there. They own the same dealership, so I'm trying to get one out there. We'll see if that happens, but definitely Maserati. What else we got coming up?
One of my cars is going to be running soon.
Hopefully, one of his cars will be running soon. Not the Mach 1.
No,
That'll be.
it's not a Mach 1 anymore. Anyway,
It's a what is it? Mustang. You're right. You pull the picture of the Mustang too.
Grant, you need like 6 monitors.
Grant,
you
pull
need
up
to
the
be faster.
Mustang.
I already have 4.
Nerd.
What else we got coming up? Anything else? We're competing all in Central Florida region for the SCCA, so we'll be.
CFR.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff coming up. So,
And here's the Mustang. So this is Scott's resto modded Mach 1, 1970, being rebuilt by Violetto Customs. Tell you Violetto, it's gonna have a NASCAR engine in it. Scott can talk a little bit more about the engine, but yeah.
Yeah, it's got a NASCAR engine that's being built for a supercharger, so it should be close to 1,000 horsepower. And lots of suspension mods, so I can do 335 tires in a square.
Right.
So
Awesome.
it'll be a huge amount of power and a lot of grip. So it'll be a very fun, competitive car. For CAM, anyway, I'm building it for the CAM class of SCCA, and I'll be able to do like the Optima Ultimate Street Car Challenge.
You might want to make it into an automatic though, because by the time you finish paying it off, you're gonna lose an arm and a leg.
Oh,
It's a joke.
I did not get that, but yes, you're right.
I enjoyed that one.
That was a little over my head.
I enjoyed that one. Well, with that, guys, we appreciate you hopping
we
on.
got a track day. Track day, Mike.
Oh God, track day. Thanks. That's why I have Grant here. He's the operations guy. He knows what's going on. Track day, April 29th at the Firm, Florida National Rally Motorsports Park in Stark, Florida, just north of Gainesville, south of Jacksonville.
South of
North of Gainesville.
Wait.
South of Jacksonville.
South of Jacksonville.
Yeah,
North of Gainesville.
See, too much Canadian whiskey.
I'm just gonna
Get out of here. North of Gainesville, south of Jacksonville.
All right.
It's definitely an affordable track day. We're gonna have hot laps, basically a time lapse in the morning, and then open track day in the afternoon. There will be a rally course open as well as karting. It should be a lot of fun, and we're looking for how long we got registration open for, Grant?
About another month and a week, so plenty of time to register. But we still got some.
Yeah.
We're giving away little goodie bags for the first 20 registrants, so make sure to register early.
Right. We're out of early bird, but for you guys who are on here, just PM us if you haven't already registered. We'll send you a special link for the early bird pricing coupon code. Yeah, to put in MSR when you go to register. We appreciate you guys jumping on, and tell some more people to hop on next time. We'll probably do this again maybe next month. Try to maybe monthly. I think we'll get pretty
Maybe a little more interactive. We get some more folks.
More interactive. We like you guys commenting. We appreciate you guys hopping on.
If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, either mention them on this video or on our Facebook page.
Right.
We want to be very interactive with our group and with our viewers and followers. So if you have any questions at all, either about our cars personally, like Mark asked about the 3rd gen, which is great. It's good to have loyal followers. We love that stuff. Anything like that at all, we want to get more involved. So if anybody has any questions or anything that you want us to answer, feel free to send those our way, and we can add it to the list for the next time that we do this.
Right, and if you aren't right, yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is if you guys aren't in our Facebook group, you can search Spectro Racing. The title of the group is actually Autocross Track Days and Car Enthusiasts, but it's facebook.com/groups/Spectro Racing. If you're not in there already, hop on in. We have general questions of the day. There's a lot of people in there who know what they're doing about racing, and if you have
There's a lot of very, very well-educated,
knowledgeable people. Yeah,
more knowledgeable than we are by
right, very much.
I will fully admit that there are some people in that group.
We should probably bring on an expert next time, just for fun. Yeah, bring an expert next time. So we appreciate you guys hopping on. Am I missing anything, Grant? Wait, let's hop over. Ah, there's Churchill.
That's Churchill.
Ah, the Corkster. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
See ya.